Welcome to the Angelic Teaching number 2, session number 1. Alright, nice ride already. Many teachings, Angelic Healing Certificate, Angelic Vortex Certificate, Angelic Teaching 1, and now the Angelic Teaching 2. In this Angelic Teaching 2, we're still going to be working on tools, on concepts, values. We're going to bring more stories, and we're going to be able to project ourselves in other different realities and working with them as allies, and being able to dissociate even better the emotions that are being created inside of us and the emotions that we pick up from others. From this, we'll be able to be even more accurate and to be spot on, finding the way to get more and more insights, and as well to be allowing more space for them to grow, for us to be more and more psychic in a way. Yeah. Let's start by focusing on our crystal ball. Increase the strength of it, its brightness. Start to visualize inside of you if your soul, your auric fields, everything is properly aligned. Feel if your auric field is a little bit twisted, or everything just flows properly. Try to look at if there are parts of your body where there is more energy than others. The energy field might be a little bit stronger on one shoulder than the other. So you want to compensate that to bring the energy back to its original level. Look as well at your own body. Are there any tensions? Are you well seated? Feel as well your muscles, your bones. Do like a checkup before taking off with an airplane on the tarmac. You've got all the list, and you go through all those lists and you check them all. Work on your awareness, not only from within, but around you. Start noticing any changes in the room, any objects that could have been moved. Again, do it not with your mind, but with your soul. I like to use this series of tools in order to find if one object is at its right place or not when you put a new object in one room. Just sit in one room. Let's say, for example, you implement a new mirror in one room, and obviously you've been thinking about different options and finally made a space for it. Still, you have in mind that the voice telling you in your mind about Feng Shui, and if the mirror is pointed towards the right direction, or is it going to redirect the energy towards another place? Is it the best place for it or not? The best way for that is do this process the way we've been implementing it. Feeling your body, perceiving all the different auric fields and aligning them, perceiving the tensions, realigning your physical body, emotional body, all those different layers. And just sit quietly in one room where you've got this object that you want to think of or to have this better comprehension of it. See how funny, even the words that we use, we just used thinking instead of feeling. Mind is so trained to use the words thinking that we just generally use it anytime, everywhere, all the time. So you just sit in that room and you're going to start perceiving the energy of the mirror itself. The mirror is catching some images from the surrounding environment and it doubles it. Let's suppose that in front of the mirror you've been putting one suitcase there. Well, when you're going to look at the mirror, you're going to see two suitcases. If you have in the reflection of the mirror your shirts, for example, or some clothes, it's going to double it. If anything is messy in the room, through this picture of the mirror, everything's going to be amplified. How interesting is that? Which means that we can program and work with it. Of course, the mirror is an illusion, but it's an illusion that works with the mind. The mirror amplifies, makes things bigger, enlarges reality. Have you noticed that each time you go in one shop and the shop is a little bit narrow, they put one mirror on the side so it appears that it's much larger? They do the same thing in restaurants. Yeah. We could be talking about the mirror for hours, its ways, its use. But do you know that including Feng Shui concepts and knowledge in your work is very, very important? It gives us also some insights on what to do and how to do it. So I would entice you to either get a book on Feng Shui, start learning from it, or just browse on internet and discover things. If you type mirror Feng Shui, I'm sure you're going to have plenty of pages to look at. Internet is amazing for that, as soon as we use it in the best way possible. Another use of the mirror is when you want to do an healing on yourself, or you want to check something on yourself. Just sit in front of the mirror 2 meters, 3 meters away from it, and start practicing visualizing your crystal ball and working on the client that you have in front of you, yourself. Start noticing if you see some shadow energies around the face, if you start to see another expression, an emotion, some dots of color at one location or another on the body. And start projecting those thoughts, saying, well, what will it take for me to clear all of that? What will it take for me to be able to clear this, to change it, to change this reality? You'll be amazed of the work that you can be doing on yourself that way. very, very handy. Let's switch on the light here as well. There you go. I like to be working with this device, the AT2. It brings another layer on top of the work by shining and spreading beams of energy, colorful energy. Have a look on my website as well if you want to have pictures of it and how to use it. It's pretty straightforward. Point it towards where you want to bring this energy and switch it on. You notice that the distance that you have from the light also affects the intensity. It's like feeling the cone of spreading energies coming towards you. With the experience that you have now, you should be able to see the work that I'm doing. You should be able to feel it. Not only on one or two different layers that I'm working, but the whole work. You should see those layers of energy around my hand as I go and I breathe through this vortex, this field of energy. You should see my hands playing with this energy, working its way, bending those different lines of energy, making space, enhancing, spreading, creating movement, opening. Transforming, releasing, expanding. You do understand that it is possible, and that's what we do, to create simultaneously different actions at the same time in one move. Your intention, the determination that you put into it are the key factors of the success of your work and your tasks. The more you believe in your work, the more it works, the more it works greatly. Keep focusing on the energy. Let it rise. Let it expand. from that time on as well, you should be able to feel how to organize your schedule, how to reorganize it, and to put things in it that are important, and adding things that just come out of the blue. Remember, you master the time. That means allowing yourself to postpone tasks, to shorten tasks, to expand them, to modify, to transform them, including your surrounding environment, people being involved in it. Through this teaching too, you will feel how you can act on realities that are surrounding you. And again, I put the word realities in plural because that's what it is. There are different realities acting at once. And by working on them, by acknowledging them, by being aware of them, you act on them, you change them, you shift them. It's funny how sometimes we put more focus on the verbs, the actions, than the actual things. Other people will do the opposite. Just remember the sentence that I just used before. I described 3 different actions in a row. I could have been focusing on 3 different things instead of using different verbs to describe the same word, to implement the same word. Feel what it is like to be acting on these different realities, different visions, different perceptions. See, I just did it this time. Working and defining more words, a series of words instead of a series of verbs, actions. See how it changes the whole reality of it. Which means that instead of working from different angle on the same object, you work with the same tool on different objects, conceptual objects, of course. You start to see that we are blending through this teaching too. The outside world, the inner world, those different realities. We bring more tools into the equation. And as a consequence, it creates ripple effects. Interactions between the inside world and the outside world, the same way I was just coughing. Funny, huh? That happens just at the same time. Remember, it's about noticing what the messages are. Those messages can come in many different ways and forms and shapes. 3 words with the only single word, a verb, off to come towards you. Some people are becoming experts on choosing the words they want to be working with and how they implement them, how they put the focus on it, how they change the frequency of them. One person who masters this is Tony Robbins. And you don't need to go and buy for hundreds of dollars for seminars. Just buy a book at 10, $12. It's 700 or 800 pages long, thick, and you will find an amazing things in it. How to interact in the best way possible with others, what vocabulary to use, and how to play with it. It's one thing of using the energy and interacting with the world with your energies that you're creating and manifesting. But it's a brand new task to be able to share this message with others, for them to understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. As well, for you to hear you saying what you're doing. It helps the mind to participate and to come into action as well, bending its strength, its effort towards your purpose and your goal. It is very important to have each single cell of your body working towards the same goal and direction. Each time you do one session, have in mind the task that you want to implement on that session, the goal that you want to bring. Doesn't have to be too many, but at least 3 key things. Do you want to bring happiness? Do you want to bring one person back to balance? Do you want to bring a reality and manifesting something for this person? What is the goal that you want to create and manifest? You'll see that as soon as you do this, all your energies that you're using, every single action contributes and works towards this goal. Each move, each sequence of moves works toward the fulfillment of this goal that you had previously defined. When you do one session like that, or when you do a more advanced work within different sessions and a series of them, it's about defining where you want to start and where you want to go. Have a look as well at another amazing master. His name is John DeMartini, Dr. John DeMartini. He talks a lot about procedures and ways of implementing your thoughts, your actions. It's a very interesting concept. He works as well on redefining his goals all the time and working on counting his blessings for the day, working on gratitude. That's a source of energy as well. The more you're grateful for the things and the blessings that come in your life, the more you bring and you manifest other blessings and opportunities towards you and towards the people that you should care of. So what is it going to be? What is going to be your life? Have you used those tools in order to project yourself in your future? To see what you want to be doing, how you want to do it, what realities you want to manifest and to blend, to create. Another tool you want to implement as well is recording yourself doing energy work. It's amazing exercise to do. Just buy a tripod on the internet. Doesn't have to be a big one. Be long like that with 3 legs, so you can hold the phone onto it and just use a phone that you're not using and use it for your recordings. I like to be working with headphones, so it brings a better sound. And you don't have to record for long. You'll be able to see what other people perceive when you do your energy work. Start noticing how you use your hands to explain how your hands working towards what you're expressing. Are they working at the same speed as you're talking? Are they working and moving too fast? Or are they adding more content to what you're talking about? Are they in harmony with what you're saying? Does it flow when you look at it? Do you smile enough? Are you able to keep eye contact? Are you too busy taking notes and losing control of what's happening with your interaction with your person, your client? How do you deal with the messages that come through? Are you having those doubts and perceptions like that, not knowing what's happening? Or does it flow generally, normally? How do you blend the messages and the perceptions that you receive to talking and interacting with this world? Do you have blanks, or are you able to put everything all together? Have a look on the internet about Deepak Chopra, this amazing doctor as well, who is able to heal without even moving his hands, talking about different subjects by channeling them, taking the time it takes for him to receive the words and to be able to transmit them and act as everything was normal, like he was actually taking time to talk slowly. In fact, he is receiving messages and he gave one message, one sentence, one after the other. Another one who does this is the Dalai Lama. When you listen to his talks on internet, you see, you feel that he is channeling, but he's totally present in the moment as he is doing it. He becomes the pure conduit, being 100% present with one person, but delivering the messages that come from beyond. Find your teachers, not in one field, but in many. And again, aim high. Another character you may want to look at is Ellen. You know, Ellen, from this American talk show. She's got this amazing presence on stage. She's funny. There's always something going on. You always want to look at what is she doing and how funny she's going to be. You like the way she smiles, the way she looks at things, her expressions. Integrate this with your work as well. Start to identify the things that you would love to be able to do, because you feel amazed about how they are able to integrate this into their work. And you're going to see progressively that what you pick up are things that are your potential, things that are part of you as well, but bits that you didn't put enough focus on. But with experience, with focus, you can be reaching towards. And then start to implement tasks. What would it take for me to be able to interact on stage the same way as this person? What would it be? What would it take for me to be able to talk as fluently as this person? Or to have such great vocabulary? Start creating your list, start creating your goals. And you're going to start to feel that there are ways for you to implement all of that. And you are going to be able to put all of this all together, understanding that suddenly it's not just you in your room looking for answers, but you already have other people out there that are able to master the field that you're looking at. Look, for example, at TED Talks. What are those talks all about? How great is that? How you're able to pick up on how one person expresses his thoughts within a certain lapse of time, to be so precise and bring as well so much passion into it. What are the tools that they are using? How they are able to implement that? I'd like you to pinpoint those different things. Bring them back towards you and say, wow, I love that. One way you can do it as well is create a folder on your browser, on internet, and save those different links. Create categories so you can get back to it. It's like having part of your memory, knowing exactly what to look at, what to look for. I know that's a lot of work. That's a lot of dedication. But again, it all depends what are the tasks that you want to implement, what are the goals you want to achieve, what is it exactly that you want to do. What's the purpose for all of that? Well, I would say the only purpose is to get better and better every single day, all year long, all your life long. That way, you keep learning, you keep discovering, you keep remembering, you work on yourself all the time. And as you do this, you become a better you. Working on yourself from many different angles, with joy, with passion, not with something that you feel reluctant on doing by saying, well, where will that bring me? No. You do it because you love it. Now, that would be a quote. You do it because you love it. The more you're going to believe in this quote, the more it's going to work, the more you're going to be able to implement it. Where is this supposed to lead you? Well, it's all about using all your gifts, all your abilities towards fulfilling the mission that you came on earth with, that you came on earth for. Blending all those different parts, making them one, having them working smoothly with one and the other. How amazing would that be? Keep breathing in and breathing out. We're transforming the fears, the pressure, the expectations. For you to be in alignment with what you're supposed to achieve, with what you're supposed to be doing. For all those energies to flow towards you in abundance. There's a quote from Tony Robbins that I really like. It talks about abundance and how we can bring this abundance towards us in our life. Let me say it for you. Life flows to me. Life circulates in my life. Life flows to me in avalanches of abundance. All my goods, all my needs, all my wishes, all my desires are met instantaneously by infinite intelligence. And I give thanks for all of my good now and for all of God's riches. For I am one with God, and God is everything. Imagine this intensity, the words, the power of the creation of the mind, visualizing this intense flow of abundance coming towards you, circulating in your life. Imagine how many metaphors, how many concepts are being used in only one few sentences. What would it take for us to be able to use those different words and be able to blend them, to work them out, for them to be working for us instead of us running after them? Having those words coming towards us in the best way possible, flowing easily, with ease and grace. The same way the words come towards us, the energies flow the same way. I wish you all the best and talk to you soon.